Hello, YouTube world. My name is Anthony Long. Welcome back to the Bluegrass Picker channel. You came back. What? Why would you? I'm sure glad you did. Make sure you press that thumbs down button. Little Rush. Yeah. Hey, how's it going, Jenny? I need to practice a little bit anyway. I figured I'd come on, make people have to listen to this. My screen looks a little blurry. Oop. It's a hard one, I tell you that. This beginning. That's tough. He's a great guitarist. And, Neil Peart was such a great drummer, and the singer was so unique that the guitarist doesn't get a lot of credit for being so awesome. So, did you go to garage sales today? Forget that one. Yeah, I'm the same. I decided to go today because it's cooler weather and there was a lot of community sales going on. So I like the community sales because you can walk to 4 or 5, and it wasn't very good. I don't know if people are better at doing garage sales, taking from garage, buying from garage sales, or people just didn't have good stuff out or got picked over. Some of them got picked over yesterday, but there wasn't nothing. I didn't even contemplate really buying anything. Maybe I've just gotten pickier over time too, but once again, and just like you said, I have a lot of stuff, so I didn't really need to buy anything. It's just I went to that community, this one community wide garage sale last year, and it was really good. I got a lot of stuff. I didn't spend $1 a day, which is really strange. Usually it's hard. Usually I try not to buy stuff because there's so much good stuff, you know. Yeah, I stopped buying on auctions. Yeah, I've kind of done that for the last couple of months. I've just been pinpointing exactly what I want to sell my booths. I've been buying up media because I want to turn my antique booth into vintage media with just some antique stuff. I love finding like antique toys and things like that. But the vintage media is selling so good right now. Just kind of go with the flow, and I like it anyway. It just makes me study more music, so that's kind of fun. But and then I stick with my sports cards. Yeah, I'm the same way. I've just been listing and listing. It's kind of why I'm on here right now. Is because I just don't want to list. I've already cleaned enough today. I don't really want. So quiet today. Oh, yeah, there's not a lot of stuff going on YouTube. Nice day. It's beautiful weather. I should be outside, but I did my running yesterday already. I'm gonna probably take the dogs out for a long walk today. Forgot I knew that song. Do I sell Mercari? I did sell some stuff, but when it came to the stuff I was selling, um, I just didn't sell that much. I didn't get very many looks. Um, I found that it seemed like Mercari was just a bunch of people from eBay that were trying to sell stuff over there, and it was the same people buying over there. So I found myself buying more stuff when I was over on Mercari because they had some stuff cheaper. Because I think there's a lot of people that got kicked off of eBay, and so that was the place to sell. Was the next best place was Mercari for a lot of people. They're just trying to sell anything. But that was back when Etsy was still strict with what they were letting you sell, and Poshmark was still just clothes only. So um, I don't know. I just didn't have that much. I sold a few things, but I didn't sell much. I probably, this fall and winter, whenever I'm not doing mowing, I'll probably explore a little bit on that kind of stuff and um, just to see. But I haven't, just get so many more eyes on eBay for me. I've bought a lot of stuff on Mercari that was I used I there for a while. Whenever video games stuff was really expensive on eBay, I would go to Mercari and buy stuff on Mercari and flip it on eBay pretty quickly and sell my boost. So I got some good deals on Mercari, but I didn't really sell much. I got booted. I don't know what happened. Oops. Mainly, yeah, eBay. Well, I have an antique booth and a flea market booth, so I kind of got three platforms in a way. Yeah, like I said, I'll try it out. It's just like anything. It's like stay focused into one thing. If I starting to try to sell on all these other platforms, it made it harder for me to get items out in the morning before I went mowing. So I didn't really want to switch from one thing to the other and all that. Um, but like I said, this winter I'll probably do a little bit more, especially around the fourth quarter. But I would definitely buy lots on Mercari and flip them. I bought records on Mercari and record lots, and then split them up and sold them. So that worked pretty good. What do you sell on Mercari? Are you selling? I know you sell a lot of CDs. I was thinking you sold CDs was one of your main things, or is it DVDs? I mean, I know you sold a lot of different things, but like, what do you mainly sell? Bo freaking out. Jenny, what do you like to sell on eBay and Mercari? Hmm. Got it. Boy, haven't played this in a while. Stone Temple Pilots. Lush. What's up, Kent? How you doing? Thanks for joining. I was going to ask you one time, are you mainly selling clothes? I know you follow daily refinement, so I figured you kind of did a lot of clothes. I need to start listing all my clothes. I kind of got away from it. I have a bunch. I have a bunch of rock concert T-shirts and stuff like that. Just I'm so spoiled with sports cars. I don't know if I've ever had a return. I don't think I've ever had a return on sports cards, selling thousands of them. So I kind of spoiled that way, and I can't put freaking clothes into my booths because people just put a shirt on over their shirt and take off, or leave their old crappy shoes and then put the new ones on and walk out. I had someone had a what do you call it? I had this box, shadow box, and I had a jersey pinned into it. It was a Mahomes jersey, and I had a LED light in the top. Had a remote that you could turn it on and off, and it would change colors. It was a pretty good idea. I sold one for $250. I think it was the last day before the pandemic shut down the freaking the antique mall too. And then I had another one in there, and it was a camouflage one. It was a cool jersey. I could sell the jersey for $100, and someone broke into the shadow box, ripped out the jersey, and put it on and took off. Like, yeah, makes sense. I knew I shouldn't have done. I knew I was opening myself up to that. What do you do? Who's Tom Cruise? I'm actually stalling. I don't have a bunch of 45s I need to put in my booth. They're having a record show tomorrow at my antique mall, and it's the biggest antique mall in Missouri. So they have all these vendor tables and stuff. I just put a bunch of stuff out in my normal booth. People find it, but I have a bunch of stuff here that I need to put in there, but I'm kind of stalling because I don't want to do it right now. Some great ones. These are the ones I don't really want, but since they have the picture sleeve, they will sell. I've sold quite a few on eBay. Clothes, electronics, hats, etc., etc. Yeah. It's usable stuff. Collectibles are tough because you go in streaks where people don't want collectibles, aren't buying that kind of stuff, and so I need to get more usable things that people actually need instead of luxury items kind of deal. Who's Tom Cruise is having a auction tonight. If you like media, he's got some great stuff and toys. He's got a lot of great Hot Wheels and stuff. People are, yes, they are. and he ruined the shadow box by ripping the back open and stuff too. So I mean, it's people. You just got to get over it. You just got to. Otherwise, you just get super mad about it. And that's why I like in my antique mall and my flea market booth, I have glass cages too for my sports cards because can't leave those out. People just throw them in their wallet. And so I like that. But this also, people don't want to go ask to have it undone. People rather just grab it and go. So that, it cuts out some of your profits because of that. But my antique mall where it's huge, I actually put a sign in there and it has the front desk number so you can call them and they'll come unlock it, which they don't mind. But I doubt people probably see it, Insane slabs tonight as well. Cool. Yeah, it's there for a while. I was buying PSAs just because it costs so much to get them graded. You could buy PSA cards for $40 that were decent cards, and it costs $40 to $50 just to freaking grade them. So, yeah. Then there's too many people selling stuff that isn't PSA that are like 8.5s on grading systems I've never even heard of. I'm like, dude, you can't. It's obviously these guys that don't want to keep it. They're collectors and they know it's not worth much and they're putting them in auctions and people are buying them up for like way too much. I couldn't believe some of the stuff I've seen. Some of these YouTube auctions I'd feel guilty if I was doing that, honestly. I like your guys's. Storage Stalkers is a good one. And Donatella Bottolino has some good stuff, but very rarely for me. It doesn't, because she usually has like women's clothes and purses and stuff. So I get her records. That's about it. Fake cameras in the booth. Yeah, people say that too. I don't think it stops some people, they'll probably steal the fake cameras. Yeah, people are they're rude. I don't even know what to do about it sometimes. But then, like I said, I just try to put stuff in there they can't really steal, like big records and stuff. It's a good one to sell. Basically, you start thinking about that, like what to put in your booths or what people can't steal. But I've also made a lot of money on clothes in my booths, so it's kind of you think about like, well, I lose $5 to $10 here, but if I'm gaining so much more than I would on eBay, because there's some stuff that sells for way more money than I would get on eBay for it. And that's kind of why I've stayed doing the antique booths, especially sports cards. I could sell Mahomes cards because I'm here in Missouri for $30, and I couldn't get $10 on eBay for some of those cards. So, although, just like any business, you have a great idea, someone's going to copy you. I have a guy right beside me who used to only sell like old cards, and he would have like 50s and 60s cards and like stuff that people didn't really want. And his booth's right beside me in his glass cage, which is good, because it brings some of his people there and they see my cards. And recently I went over there and I noticed he has all kinds of new stuff. He has a bunch of the same cards I have priced way underneath me. I'm like, you son of. And there's always going to be someone that copies you and freaking undercuts you, and that's kind of the reason why I never did Amazon, because they have those repricing apps where, no matter what you put your price on and what you think you're going to get it for, there's going to be some other guy that will take less profit just to sell faster. And it's good for a buyer, but for a seller, it's like, crap, you're making it worth not as much by lowering it all the time. Like, it kind of sucks. Hey, Glenn, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Those Goodyear hats. Tape razor blades to the back of the car stereos. Yeah. That's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, there's always, I guess it's just like business. You just kind of accept that some things are going to get stolen and, figured in, just like most businesses do. What, 5 to 12% gets stolen. most of it's going to be by your employees, because you don't pay them enough. I remember cooks would just go in the back, and I remember at the end of the night, you'd see cooks grabbing like 2 bottles of A1 and a bag of rice, and, walking out the back door with product, and what are you going to say? They're working doubles 7 days a week sometimes, getting paid $10 an hour. I'm like, I get it. It's a race to zero. Yeah. I mean, I don't, what do you do? Just, that's one thing I've gotten better about, is just one thing that serving and bartending got me used to is just to forget about it. Cause if you dwell on it, it freaking drive you nuts. You just got to let it go. God, I mean, when I was a bartender, oh my God, I was telling that to someone today at a garage sale. I didn't get any. I went to like 12 garage sales, didn't find anything. But I was talking to this lady. It was nice to have a good conversation with someone, because doing this, you don't really get out. And I was telling her about how when I was a bartender, it was really hard to deal with people. But the people that were hard to deal with were the sober people who weren't drinking. They were the freaking hardest to please, because they didn't know how to please themselves, and they wanted you to do it for them. They didn't know what made them happy. I'd rather wait on someone that just wants 3 drinks and some food and give them the ticket so they can tip you. Instead, you had these people that were like, I said extra ranch. I gave you 4 ounces of ranch dressing for a 5-ounce salad. Yeah, I want more. So you get them 8 ounces, a half a pint of freaking ranch for a salad, and then they're looking at you like you're stupid. Like, I told my managers one time that we needed to, because Cheddar's was famous for their chicken tenders, which they were good because it was fresh chicken breast. It wasn't frozen, and then they would deep fry in a good batter. But I'm like, we give out so much. I mean, the amount of dressing we gave out, honey mustard and ranch, was insane, and buffalo sauce. I'm like, why don't we just have a bowl of ranch and then just chop up chicken tenders and put it on top? It'll save us time. It will keep us from having to go back and forth. You're already given that much. Just freaking do it for those people that are just gonna ask for more. And that way you charge them for it, and then they don't just keep asking for it and giving them free stuff. And I remember they looked at me like, well, they thought about it like, oh, it's not a bad idea. I'm like, I know. Wow. Yeah, especially anymore. Like, I know in California, like, it has to be like a certain amount of money or being stolen, or they just don't care. 5,000 to 7,000 a month being stolen. I mean, it's just like people have some excuse why they should be able to do it. It's freaking crazy. They probably do. That's Baton Rouge. Yeah, I live in a decent town. It's not like a city. Well, I mean, I guess 100. It's close. It's getting close to 200,000 people, but it's been kind of a small community for a long time. It's just gotten more population, but it's getting to be where it's pretty rough. And I go to my booth sometimes and I'm stocking it, which is what I should be doing right now. And you go in there and you can tell it's just a lot of homeless people going through this, seeing what they can take, probably exchanging stuff out. Here's my coat. Here's a better coat. Yeah, it is what it is, I guess. I got this. I thought this was cool. I don't buy much silver anymore because I bought a bunch of silver back in like, was it 2004 or 5, somewhere in there, and it was like $8 an ounce. So I was buying up a ton of it. I still have a bunch left, so I never buy any. But I got this from Westside Gary and his auction last week. And Who's Tom Cruise? It was a pick that's silver. I'm like, yeah, I have to get that 925. It's it's not it's scratched up a little bit, but I thought that was cool for $20 shipped to my door. It only weighed like I think it's like a quarter of an ounce or something like that, but make it into a necklace, I guess, if I wanted. I think silver's gone up quite a bit. I haven't really looked recently, but God, 5,000 to 7,000 a month hardware. Well, yeah, freaking lumber is so expensive there for a while. I asked a guy about that. He says because it was a surge since it was shut down for so long. People weren't buying any lumber, and all of a sudden everybody wanted it at the same time. So there just wasn't enough trucks to take it away. Because I had a friend that was out there, and they're like, "We have plenty of people. We have plenty of lumber. It's just there's no trucks to take it away because there was just such a surge of it, and so there was just so much demand, and there was plenty of supply. There was just not enough transportation to get it to them." Like, huh. Around here, I don't know how it is. And tell me in the chat. Around here, I used to never see signs up like we're hiring, but for the last 5 months, all these factories and just lumber yards, even everything but fast food. Fast food would put some signs up, but they've kind of gone away from it, and they put up signs that say hiring $20 an hour, hiring $24 an hour. And they've never come down. They just keep asking for employees. Like no one, I guess, I don't know what people are doing. I don't just making their credit card debt high. I don't know what they're doing, but no one's working. It's strange. I mean, around here, even unemployment being cheap, you can't. It's not going to cover cost of living. I don't know how people do it. Maybe everybody's selling drugs now. I don't know. It's funny how many people I go to garage sales and they're smoking those vapes or whatever, and you could smell the pot really, really strong. Around here, people they're not trying to hide it anymore because they made it legal, medical legal, and I think a lot of people say they're need it medical. So every business has hiring signs up here. Yeah, same here. It just must be a whole thing about everywhere. It's just, and I mean, like normally it'd be like $15 an hour to be a good job around here until this last year. So they're hiring at a hardware store to run forklifts for $24 an hour to start. I mean, that's where inflation goes up. If businesses can't get anybody to get to hire, they have to give more to their employees to keep them there, and they have to hire for more price. It's going to come out in inflation. They're going to have to charge more for their product or their services. So I'm worried that inflation is just going to go insane the next 2 years. I mean, it probably already has, really. I know when I do power washing, it has those discs. It's a DeWalt disc. I get them at Home Depot. I've been getting them for 9-10 years, almost 9 years, and they've been $100, $99.99 for the whole time until the last time I went, and it was $139. Like, shoot, it went up that much. Like, holy crap! So, starting to see stuff go up, and sucks. Went to Denver and everyone was high. Yeah, I bet. I had a dream the other day that I moved to Denver, and I was like, well, moving to Denver, I got to start smoking bud again. Because I don't do it anymore. Which I don't see it being that big a deal. It just makes you lazy. Makes you spend half your day doing it instead, including me. Yeah, I don't have a problem with it. I just stop for a while, clear my head. I don't drink anymore, but I used to smoke quite a bit. If I went to Colorado, I'd probably do some edibles, and they never worked very good on me when I used to take them. I don't know why. Everybody else is like, man, it makes me almost like it's tripping. Me, it was just like I didn't even. I don't know. Didn't even give me a buzz. Hey, what's up, Westside? Just showing your pick I got from you last week. Thanks, buddy. It's pretty cool. Tell them about your auction tonight. Always have some great auctions, man. You and Storage Stalkers, about the only ones. I used to watch Pirate, but he doesn't do auctions anymore, and he has his son doing it, and it's not very good. He's lost. And Donatello, she has records every once in a while, so I'll watch her whenever there's nothing going on. I'll be listing, and so I'll buy her records every once in a while, but she hasn't had any on for a long time, so I appreciate it. It was a cool little thing. I have plenty of silver like you, but I don't usually buy anymore because it's gone up too. You always have some good stuff and a variety. That's what I like. It keeps more people coming in if you have a variety. You know, I'm sure Tom's kind of realized that over time you need to sell different things because there'd be like me and two other people bidding on the stuff he likes that he has. I'm surprised more people don't because I mean it's a great reselling. You get some first pressings of stuff that isn't even that's obscure. I mean, you're talking $100 for one album, and he's selling some of those albums for $70 for 25 or 30. So, I mean, I'm gonna start selling on Discogs too coming up. I already have an account. I've already kind of messed with it. I didn't want to have all these different platforms because I have thousands of records. I have so many 78s too. Is your daughter playing some soccer today, Gary? I love sports. I was really good at soccer, but we didn't have soccer past 7th grade where I was from. It was just a small farming community, and I was the goalie. And we played the big town in our county, 6,000 people, and they had like 5 or 6 teams though. We only had one, of course, and I was the goalie, and we didn't even know how to play soccer other than like guessing. And so, you know, it would just be me diving everywhere, blocking stuff as a goalie because we didn't have a defense. They would chase the ball down and stay on the other side of the field because they wanted to score. And I'm just back there just getting shot after shot, blocking it, having to get block it again. It was fun. I got good at it. It was funny because after the games, a lot of times the coaches would be like, man, if you were our goalie, we'd never get scored on. It always made me feel pretty good. But I love soccer. But I was probably better at baseball. And then in high school, I played football because there was just nothing else. We didn't have anything. I didn't want to wrestle. Wrestling, it didn't seem like it. I never found that intriguing. I played basketball a little bit, but my coaches hated me, and because my dad would take me out for church, and they would like not put me in just because of that. I'm like, I can't do anything about my dad because I wouldn't be able. He wouldn't let me practice on Sunday nights, and they would. I look back, I'm like, why would basketball coaches make me come in on Sunday nights? They were freaking psychos. Like we were like practicing 7 days a week. It was crazy. Yeah, you have a game. That's cool. Oh, that's neat. Yeah, I was good at baseball. I could pitch. I was a shortstop. I just loved it, and that's why I've always stuck with sports cards because I I always wanted to be a scout. Well, now I just scout players and buy their cards up when they're young, and then I'm a scout in my own way, and it's worked out pretty good so far. I bought a bunch of Patrick Mahomes stuff before he started playing because I knew he was going to be good. And that first year he didn't play, so you could buy his stuff super cheap, and I sold it for a lot of money. Which if I would have kept that stuff though, because who would have thought that the sports card market would have exploded? Um, but now that it's over, I know why. First off, Gary V went out and told everybody that he was investing in sports cards, so that made everybody do it. And then all these big brokerage places were selling their stock because it was volatile, and they were selling their stock and buying up sports cards to send in and get graded. And that's what happened. You had a lot of these big players that were in the stock market that didn't normally buy cards, but they started buying something they could actually hold on to. And they bought. I mean, there was a time, last summer, I had so many things. I just kept thinking, man, I need to raise prices. I'd raise a price, and it would sell right away because it would bring up a new listing, and show it as new listing. And I mean, stuff that had been sitting there for a while that I thought I priced it 3 times over what I would get for it, what it would go for normally, and it was still selling. And someone would come in and buy like 4 or 5 of them. I'm like, who's doing this? Come to find out, it was a bunch of stock market guys that were just trying to curb they were selling out all their stock before it went too low, and they bought up that stuff. And then whenever they re-upped whenever it got to a low point, and then let it go again. So, which I did buy I bought some index funds and stuff, and it was like 25. So that's done pretty good for me. Yeah, I had someone from my hometown designed and built the Rockies Stadium. I've heard it's awesome. I haven't been there, but God, I love baseball games and I love football games. Football games are fun to watch on TV, but going to them, Chiefs State. I never liked it. There's a bunch of drunk idiots there all the time. I mean, the tailgating was fun. Going to the parking lot before the game, that was fun. But during the game, But yeah, and concerts. I love music concerts. Well, that's cool. Yeah, when I was a kid, back in the late 80s, there was no information on a lot of things. And my dad's a preacher, so he didn't really want me to even play sports. He didn't really, and he was good at them as a kid, but he didn't play them either. Former hippie. And I taught myself how to throw a curveball just because I threw so much, and I kept trying to think, how would you throw a curveball? How would you do it? And I just kept. I remember first when I first started doing it, I would throw it and flick it backwards like this, and I was like, well, it kind of works, but that really hurts. And then I started just gripping like that and then flinging it. So I kind of threw it basically a slider, and I got really good at kind of placing that curveball. And whenever I first started throwing it, no one in my, peewee I was in Little League at the time, Little League and Pony League, they'd never seen a curveball. They were like jumping out of the way and it'd be a strike. They'd look at the ump, they'd look back at me like, what happened? It was coming right at me. It became a lot of fun. And then when I got into the, higher echelons with the all-star game and played in that stuff, the guys started killing my curveball because they could see it because their coaches had thrown it to them and they were just killing it. I'm like, I can't. And then I started realizing, I can't throw the curveball in the strike zone. I have to throw it. It looks like it's in the strike zone and throw it out. And it was too late. They crushed me. Yeah. Yeah. And I doing sports cards, I've seen it. It's kind of waned a little bit because a lot of guys were buying stuff so they could grade it at PSA and BGS, and they shut them down from bringing it in. It was just a good excuse to raise prices. But what happened was people like Gary Vee talked about it, which I understand because he was trying to. He's smart marketing. He just raises his own price. He makes his stuff worth more by telling people what he's doing after he's already done it. And so you had all these people sending in every card they could think of to PSA, when most of them probably didn't grade worth of crap. They just were sending them in because they thought, oh, I have a 10 because it's not beat up. Well, they grade them pretty. I mean, even if there's an indentation on it from like being pressed on stuff and fingerprint, and I mean, people didn't realize what centering even meant. And just because it's centered doesn't mean it's going to grade out that great. The surface is one of the things that get everybody. And so people are sending in all these 6s and 7s and wasting their own time and money and making it where none of us that actually do it did it. And people were sending in stuff that weren't rookies or autographs. Like, unless it's Mike Trout, Jordan, Mahomes, Brady, Gretzky, there's only a few that you would send in stuff that's not a rookie or autograph. Maybe some numbered cards are good players, but even then, the number makes it worth the value. You don't really need to grade it. But people are sending in like 4th and 5th year cards of guys that are good, but not. I mean, it's a $20 card on eBay, and you're sending it in, spending $50 to make it worth $40. Like, what are you doing? So it kind of sucks that there's so many people that did it all at once. That kind of ruined it for people like us that actually sent them in. And then now they make it like, I don't know if anybody saw Mr. Buys a Lot's video when he sent in those Jordans. They charge so much money to get those. It'd be hard to get your money back because they charge so much just to get them graded. It's kind of crazy because they're figuring in the prices, what it's going to be, you know. The replay screen off the charts. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I never was good at that one. That's interesting. Knuckleballs are tough. It's really cool when they show the slow motion of a knuckleball, and then the wind speed just pushes it down, makes it move different ways depending on which way the wind's blowing. It'll make the longevity of your career longer, that's for sure. But there's not too many guys that throw knuckleballs anymore in the majors. I mean, it used to be you have like 4 or 5 people, but you don't see it very much anymore. Because if you hanger is just going to get hammered. That's why you don't see very many curveballs anymore. People throw cutters and sinkers a lot, 4-seamers, because the batters just get better and better over time. I mean, Nolan Ryan was so awesome, and he was throwing like mid to upper 90s. Now that's mid to upper 90s a normal thing. But when you see mid to upper 90s all the time, you get used to it. You get better at it. It's because it's all about the eyes. But back in the day, whenever everybody's throwing high 80s and Ryan's throwing 98, it was hard for anybody to hit Nolan Ryan, because if you go back and look at his stuff, his ball didn't move hardly at all. It was just straight fastball, but you couldn't hit it. But his career lasted so long because he only threw two pitches, really. I think he incorporated a changeup later on, but I think that's one of the keys too, is too many guys throw so many pitches. That's why their arms blow out and they get all these problems, because they're throwing so many different ones. Hey, what's up, Mike? How you doing? Knuckle slurve. Yeah, you're a good pitcher. Yeah, they do that knuckle curve now where they put their finger down like that. And I remember Adam Wainwright was one of the first ones that did that one. You got to throw up. You got to burn off your old VHS video of you and put it on DVD so you can upload it to YouTube. Charlie. Yeah, sure. Sure wasn't Joe Negro. There's been some guys that tried it every once in a while, but they don't last very long. I think a lot of guys used to do it because of Phil Negro, Joe Negro lasted 25 to 30 years. They were freaking 50 years old throwing pitching still, which, yeah. 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 If I would have had YouTube back in the day, that would have been awesome. I would have been, if I was a kid, I would have been on it all the time, trying to learn baseball and how to do different things because I just didn't have anybody teach me. I had guys from, my coaches, they didn't know jack shit until I got to like when I was 15, my last year, I had a great coach. It was he played in the minors. He was really good. And he loved me because uh, when I was a kid, this is how I practiced. I was out in the country by myself, so I would throw against the wall and I'd charcoal out a strike zone, and I got good at that. I never tried to build up my speed, so I only threw it 75. I never threw it there. I never threw it very hard, and but I was pretty good at hitting, and I would get those wiffle ball bats, those yellow ones that were kind of skinny, and I'd get rocks and I'd throw them up and hit them, and I would hit them up pretty high. I hit them about shoulder length or shoulder height. And I would still hit them down here, but it was easier because you could see them up here, throw them to yourself. And that coach, when I was 15, he would throw me high fastballs, and I would hit them better than I did anything else. And he'd be like, man, when I was in the minors, no one could hit my high fastball. I don't know how you hit my high fastball. I was like, it's all that. And especially using that little bitty bat helped to hit with that big. I felt like I had a huge bat when I had the what did we use? Easton bats, my black and gold one. That's cool, Gary. That's true. I don't know if I would have watched porn or YouTube more. That's a toss up. Yes, oh my God. I remember when I was a pitcher my last year, the second to last year, the coach's son, he let him play third base, and he was freaking terrible at third base. He would just kind of go like that at the ball. He was scared of the ball. He didn't want to get hit at him. I'm like, third base is where you're going to get all the hard balls. And, it's hard to pitch whenever a guy's not even attempting to throw, and then I started trying to strike everybody out because my defense sucked. And I was the best shortstop. And I was like, man, I wish I was playing shortstop for myself. Yeah. Yeah. That was annoying that dad coaches were awful. And then they would like yell at everybody else, and their son they wouldn't do anything to their son, blowing out my arm faster. That's true. Yeah, mine didn't either. Mine didn't really want me to play. I mean, my mom, they never stopped me from doing it, but we were poor and they were running me all over the country because where I was from, you had to travel like 20 miles just to go to one game. Yeah. Woulda, coulda, shoulda for a lot of things. Huh. Yeah. I remember I gave up on baseball because the summer after my 15, because that was the last year we didn't have baseball in high school, which just sucked. But I had to go to American Legion was the next step, the only way to like keep your career going. And I didn't have a car being 15, and I couldn't take myself to the game, so I was just kind of SOL and kind of gave up on baseball. We had parents. That's funny. Uh, yeah. I had a coach that was when I was peewee that would like. I mean, he was so mean to his son, and his son just wasn't very smart. His son was a great athlete, but he just wasn't very smart. Not that his dad was any smarter, but at least he was smart with sports. And like to explain him, one time he was running a 400 in high school years later against us, and he stopped 20 yards from the finish to tie his shoe, and he was winning by a lot. I'm like, did he just stop to tie his shoe in a 400? I'm like, oh God. I think he got last because, I mean, it was like, what? Yeah, football is a big deal in my county. It was people freaked out about football, and we had one big game called the Bell Game, and we would trash each other's bells in the front of the school and paint them, and people would guard their bell, and then you'd throw hedge balls at people and put dead animals on their bell, and it was crazy. It was actually a lot of fun, but they had to put a stop to that because it got too nasty. People were getting hit by hedge balls in their eye, and yeah, people were going to the hospital. So kind of had to put a end to that. That reminds me, I have a bunch of VHS DVD converters, recorders, and I need to test and put up on eBay. Freaking fourth quarter's coming quick. I've got a bunch of. I'm not selling very good on eBay right now. I've only sold 2 things today. Yeah, 2 things. My summer was great. I was selling a lot. I need to end listings and relist some stuff just to get some action. I don't know. And I've been listing a lot of things, but ooh, I've got an offer. Ooh, an offer on a Who's Tom Cruise item. Little Wayne Lights Out 2000 CD. For 12.16, he wants to send me $10. I'll take it. I made a ton of money on that CD lot. It was a bunch of late 90s, early 2000s rap like Master P, No Limit Records. That stuff sells great. I think I bought the whole lot for like $90. I've sold 250 probably from that one. That's been a great one. 6'2", 205 in 8th grade. Wow. Yeah. It's good about growing up in a small town. I was 5'8", 5'7", with I weighed 205, big fat butt, but I was pretty strong. But I played guard and linebacker because there were just guys weren't that big. There was a few, but not. I'm sure in California it's nuts. So what do you got going on, Gary, tonight? What are you selling? Pretty normal stuff. Silver and some jewelry, and you used to have a lot more video game stuff that I used to get from you, but you probably ran through a lot of it. That stuff sells great on eBay. I don't find it like I used to find it at garage sales a lot, but man, people, I think people have gotten better at buying at garage sales because some of that stuff I just can't find anymore. Even records. Today I went to one that had 100 records. When I first saw it, I'm like, ooh, excellent. Because a lot of people put them for 50 cents a piece. So I can usually find 4 or 5 gems, They were individually priced. And they weren't even really that graded records. $4.50 and $5, and like the lowest I saw was $2.50. I'm like, what? I'm sure I probably could have offered them. I wouldn't at a garage sale. Most of them aren't that good of shape, and these were all like bad country and stuff that, I mean, I don't know. It wasn't even very good. There was like an Ella Fitzgerald, Nat King Cole, a couple of things I saw, but Nat King Cole was a record set. It was $8. I'm like, what? I just didn't even mess with it. So people have gotten better at buying at garage sales, and also people are selling for a lot more at garage sales. Kind of like Goodwill around here. The Goodwill around here is just it's 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 got a quarter of what it used to have product wise in there. Let alone, it's just they don't have all the stuff that I used to buy and sell. They're selling on eBay now, so I can't find anything very good at ours like I used to. I need to get in there. I haven't been in there for a couple of months, but now it's like when I go in there, I just find some like good stuff for me to keep for like clothes and like stuff for my business. But that's about it. Hopefully, it changes around. Ooh, new in box video vintage game systems. Ooh, Harley shirts, nice. You always got a lot of good silver. That's cool. You guys actually have good giveaways. There's some people that have giveaways, and I'm like, why are you're wasting your time? You're wasting your own time selling stuff. You guys actually do good on giveaways. I like how you do the uh, comment on the video and do different things. And that's another thing I've always like. If you're gonna do giveaway where the people that bought the stuff from you encourage people to buy stuff because they get something to give away. But I guess it would keep some of the people that just go there to watch. But if they're just coming to watch, I mean, what are they doing? I mean, it's cool that they would come to watch, but it's not really helping you a ton. So I like that when people do that. Um, so yeah, I love your guys' auctions, and they're fun, you know. And I like how you bring in um, like Justin Picker's Warehouse. That's another auction place I always watch. He's got hella good stuff too. If you like comics, good lord, he puts up these 50 comics at a time, sells them for like 30 or $40. I don't know anything about comics. I should figure out some stuff about comics for that reason. But I love it when you have him on. He's a good guy, and he's a music guy too. So it's always fun talking music with him. And his videos, if he spent more time on videos, he's got better videos than most of the people on YouTube in our community, especially his the storage, storage guys buying stuff. His intros are awesome, and he's really good at editing, which is strange for our community as well. Urban Picker. We don't have bins here. If you're talking to me, that's nothing. We have a retail store, so that another reason why Goodwill here isn't as good because the bins are always going to be better. But it's just our area, probably. I mean, it just depends on what our area is given to them. So, and it used to be you would see video games and stuff, but they keep the only thing you see is like sports games. But it's just changed a lot. Clear the chat up and be nosy. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I've seen some auctions where I'm like, why are you guys even doing this? I think a lot of people are just trying to get watch hours or something. I'm like, selling one item at a time that's not even no one would want to buy. It's actually more expensive than you would get at Goodwill. Thanks, Glenn. I appreciate you for coming in and listening to old man talk. Not a lot. There's the only bins there are is in Kansas City and St. Louis. They're all 3 hours away from me. There's 2 retail stores in this town. Um, yeah, I've gotten to where I just get media a lot of times, and the media at Goodwills are freaking usually scratched up really bad, so it's not even worth my time. Like I said, it's just our area. I'd love to go to Kansas City and St. Louis to go to the bins and see, because I've never even been to the bins. But it's been at least 10 years. Yeah, seriously. There's a lot of that. I don't even know that. I don't know how they're making any money. It's just, it just seems like a waste of time for everybody. I like Missouri, but I mean, it's definitely got its downfalls. Cost of living is cheap, probably some of the cheapest in the area in the nation, and we're closer to the oil refinery, so our gas is somewhat cheap. And I love the freaking kayaking around here is awesome, even though I don't go much anymore. Um, but and that's where my family's at. But I'd like to move. I've been talking about moving to Dallas with my buddy. His brother lives down there, and he's freaking big player in the commercial shirt business. He has factories in China, and he has stuff delivered off of boats from California into Texas every day. Um, and actually, he's talking about using his brother, my best buddy, using him to start an Amazon business to sell off his extra stuff, because he basically personalizes, like even like Cheddar's. He does their like work uniforms and stuff like that. So he's talking about eBay too, so I can show him what I know. Not much, but it'd be kind of cool to move down there and try something different. Although I don't know if I want to go to somewhere where it's hotter, but at least I guess the fall and the winter would be nice. Maybe winter would be like one big long fall, so that'd be kind of cool. But yeah, if I could pick anywhere, I liked Maryland a lot. My uncle lives out there. It's pretty beautiful. You can get to the country pretty quick, and I love the freaking crab and blue crab, and Maryland was pretty nice. Close to Delaware. Yeah, you could tell it's like they just didn't want to list on eBay because it would take too much time. So they're just throwing. At least they do. You think they at least do some lots? Like, because a lot of people are just selling one item at a time. Like, what are you doing? Just talking, wasting your time. Yeah, that could be true. YouTube might want money for it and get a portion of it. Um, but it was nice during, the reason it got popular was just because during the pandemic, all the California guys couldn't sell in the flea markets, so they were selling their stuff online on YouTube, like Storage Auction Pirate, and he kind of got everybody started with it, blowing it up. Um, so I understand where it came from, but now blue crab picker, yeah, man, I love blue crab. Holy crap! People always talk about, oh, I love snow crab. I'm like, oh, it's like styrofoam. It's not even. You have to throw butter all over it to taste good. I don't even really like snow crab. What do I have going on today? Well, I'm supposed to be cleaning my house and listing stuff on eBay. I had all these 45s to list to put in my booths, but I'm stalling. So I did this. But I'm probably going to go outside and run around with my dogs, let them enjoy this nice weather, and run up there later. And I asked my buddy later if we'll go play some tennis or play catch. We'll just run these long pass patterns, just sprint 40 yards and throw the ball to each other and do that for an hour and a half, and man, you talk about a great workout. Holy crap! Next day, my abs will be so sore from sprinting. You hold your abs really, and my hands will be sore from throwing the football, and my feet will be sore from, because I run a lot, but it's um, more jogging. But when you sprint, oh man, your feet. Oh. But I love tennis too. It's such a great act. It's great exercise and it's fun, so it's easy. It's like ping pong on a bigger stage. And I was really good at ping pong, so I'll probably go do that tonight because the weather's like awesome here. It's like 75 right now, and that's perfect. Yeah, you'd think some of those auctions would die out because yeah, I had someone send me. I ordered one thing and they sent me something completely different. I'm like, is this like you know? I still, I even contacted him again. I'm just going to order like 3 auctions. I got it because it was a good price. Um, when I got it, it wasn't at all, but it is what it is. Old milk. Oh man, Laurel. Yeah, my uncle lives close. He lives in Odenton, so it's like right between Baltimore, DC, and Annapolis. I love Annapolis. It's freaking because I love art and go down there and you could. There's so much kick-ass art. Um, I love the cobblestone streets, and I've been to Europe twice, and so Annapolis is kind of like a European town at the brick streets and brick sidewalks. It's just freaking awesome. Um, yeah, I love Annapolis, and the food there is so freaking good. All the Irish pubs that are around there, and then and since there's so many good places to eat, the prices weren't too bad. Would they have a Reuben BLT? No, what was it? A salmon BLT. There's just one place had that. It was so good. And then there was a couple. I don't know. There was a couple great. It's all good. When I went to Maryland. Oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, true that. Delmar. Yeah, it'd be fun to go out there and meet you and Harry. That'd be awesome. Uh, I used to love like going down to when we go there. We go down to Charlottesville because Dave. And I go down to his winery down there. God, what's the name of it? Bartles? No, Blenheim. Is that right? Blenheim. Anyway, it has his artwork on the bottles, so I'd buy his bottles just to have the artwork. Freaking loved it. I don't drink wine anymore, but hiya, Julie. How you doing? Don't forget Gary's auction tonight. Yeah, I wanted. There was one time we were going to go to Maryland. I mean to Delaware, go over that long bridge or whatever. But something happened where the bridge was like either out or there was so much traffic we couldn't get across. I think it was during the summer, so I think it was just a bunch of beach traffic. Um, yeah, yeah, Blenheim. It was. It's not very big. It's pretty small, but I kind of liked it. It was small, and then the guys showing you the wine were like super. They enjoyed their job, and so it was fun to talk to them. And they didn't have a lot of different wines, but they were all good. Um, it was like a little country barn like thing, and the back deck was like you could see country out behind it. It was cool. Um, I did a wine tour when we were out there. Just went to all these different places all around Charlottesville. Living the dream. How's your husband doing? His artwork is really good. Um, Surprisingly good. I mean, I shouldn't be that surprised. Yeah, Bay Bridge. That's what it is. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. Yeah, Bay Bridge, 6 miles long. Wow. And that's from being from Missouri. When I first went out there, I didn't know much about anything out there. So you just assume the East Coast is just city after city, and then you get to Maryland, you realize country's real close. And I'm sure people think about that with Missouri, how it's just all country and there's no city, and um, everybody has these different ideas of the other places by just because of TV and shit. Yeah, that's cool. That's good to hear, Julie. I wanted to go to the one down here, but it sold out. Um, it's like a 3 hour drive. Well, 2 hour drive. It'd be kind of a pain in the ass, but oh well. I'll check him next year. Hope to God he keeps touring for as long as he can. It's amazing. I wonder how many concerts he's actually done. It's kind of nuts. Well, it kind of is. uh, Missouri was a weird state because it was kind of divided. Above I-70, it was like the Union, and below I-70 was Confederates. So it was a weird state back in the day. I like being close to Arkansas. Arkansas is freaking awesome. I mean, they call it the natural state because I mean, it's not as big as the Smoky Mountains, but it's a lot like Smoky Mountains, like a lot of big hills and ravines with big, nice, fresh, fast rivers. So I love Arkansas. I go down there kayaking a lot, and Missouri has a bunch of great lakes. Um, that's probably one of the best things about Missouri is the lakes. Um, a lot of they call it Party Cove. I don't know if you guys probably have heard of that. Um, a lot of partying on the lakes down here. Uh, hey Tracy, how's it going? How you been feeling? Hot Springs, yeah. Uh, that and Eureka Springs. If you get up here, make sure you go to Eureka Springs too, because it's like the smaller version and it's like more artsy. Um, and that Eureka Springs is actually where, like, people don't probably know this, but spring training was kind of started because of Eureka Springs, Arkansas. Babe Ruth would come down there during right before the season started because especially back then the big bass, the hot springs, you would set in them and it was supposed to replenish your body, and which I actually think it does, um, and it has all this, the minerals, magnesium, and all this different stuff in the springs. And he would come down here to get his body ready for the season, and so he'd come down there for 2 or 3 weeks, well, a lot of times a month, and stay in Eureka Springs. And it was a small town, so he could do whatever he wanted. And really, it was just a way to get away from his wife and the media in New York, so he could do whatever he wanted, and he did. A lot of stories about that, and then MLB caught on to that and asked him to stop because it was all the players were coming down there, and so they basically started spring training just to keep them from going down there and doing that, which is kind of funny. They wanted to regulate it basically, but that's kind of a Eureka Springs story. That is true. Yes. You had a yard sale? Oh my God, that sounds like hell. Grilling. That's what you should do on um, your cooking channel. Show how you grill and what you like to make on the grill. Grilling's a big deal around here. What were you selling in your garage sale, yard sale? Like stuff you just can't sell on eBay? Why did you just why did you do a YouTube auction? Uh, Grilling with Krillin. Hey, 350 in 3 hours? I'll take it. That's not bad. It's like all the garage sales I went to today. I went to like at least a dozen, and they were community sales in really rich neighborhoods. They were terrible. Uh, I mean, the prices are so high. I usually ask like, "Well, will you take this?" They were so high. I'm like, uh, they're probably not even going to. I don't know if they've been picked over or just that they just didn't have anything. I don't know. Bashing on YouTube sales. We're just talking about YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube auctions that are selling trash, and they should be kind of ashamed of themselves selling trash. That's all there is. Not everybody is, but that's cool. The weather's great here, so I bet it is pretty good in Texas. Yeah, I just haven't had any good video content to put up, so I haven't put any videos up in the last. I think it's been a week, which is kind of the longest I've done in a while. My sales haven't been that good on eBay either. That's why I need to make some. I need to make some antique mall and flea market booth videos to show people what sells in my booths because it's a completely different monster than eBay. So I'm sure some people would kind of like to know. It's like I was saying earlier. Like I wish I put some hats in there, but people just put the hat on, tear off the freaking sticker, and walk out with hats. So some things you can't really sell in there that you wish you could, but um, it's great to if I'm buying hats for 50 cents, I'll take the chance of people stealing them if I can make $20 on some of them. We weren't saying all auctions are terrible. We're just saying there's a lot of them that aren't very good because there's stuff they wouldn't put on eBay, and they're only buying it because they're someone's subscriber. But it is what it is. You watch. You don't buy what you don't want to buy. I just like the ones that I go the ones that have resell lots where you can keep some of it and you can sell some of it and still make your money back. When people are selling one item at a time, I'm not sticking in that stuff very often unless it's a really awesome item. I'd say 25% of them I buy from. The other ones I might watch because you never know what you might find. If I'm listening, I'm bored, but I don't usually buy from them. Art sack. Yeah, Target. Yeah. People selling one plush at a time that's worth like $5. Like, why would I buy? I mean, might as well go to Goodwill and buy stuff. Same ones are there for 50 cents. But I mean, I think people want to buy stuff they're trying to grow their channel a lot of times. So I think they're buying stuff to try to get subscribers, and people are just trying to get watch hours. I get, I'm, when people start talking about their subscribers and watch hours, I just can't. People be like, "Why don't you collaborate and get people to watch your videos?" I'm like, I'm not going to get people to watch them. If they don't want to watch them, they don't watch them. I don't want them to watch just to get hours. I mean, I don't know. All that stuff has become so I can't even hardly stomach it anymore. I had a guy tell me too. He's like, I go, I was in a channel and they're like, oh, you got 1,000 subscribers. I'm, yeah, yeah, And they're like, why don't you put up your link and people can just go watch your channel and get your um, hours up. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, no thanks. I appreciate it. They're like, well, you don't want to put your link in? I'm like, well, I don't want people to watch if they're not going to watch. It doesn't really help you anyway to get more subscribers of people that don't watch. And one of the guys in there was like, prove it. Or how do you know? That's wrong. I'm like, I don't care to be right with you. I'm not trying to be right. I don't care. Stop. Like you can tell the people that used to be trolls that now just come around. Cool. Yeah, seriously. Stuff I can find in any store for cheap. Yeah, I agree. And like locker nuts, I like them because they're nice. I stopped going in their auctions because they get too many people in there. There's too much competition, and you have to be a member. But they actually have good videos because they're just nice people. I mean, there's a big difference. Like storage stalkers, they're nice people, so it's easy. Uh, what the Hales or whatever like that. You can just tell those. That's a shady dude. Shady people. You don't have to. When you get older, you can tell that stuff pretty quick, especially after bartending all those years. Um, I saw something the other day. I was watching. Who was it? It's one of his friends. I used to go to their auctions a lot. Storage Legends. I used to go to their auctions a lot, but I don't do it anymore. And he had what the hell's on there. And I guess his wife left him or something, or he caught her cheating on something. And so he's like, I need to figure out what I'm going to do with my channel. He's worried about his channel, what to do because his wife left him or whatever. I'm like, oh God. Because I unsubscribed from him a year ago, probably when they were doing all those coin pushers or whatever. Reseller channel with coin pushers, like most boring shit ever. I don't. It's so weird. Charge a lot has great auctions. Yeah, locker nuts, man, they're just nice. The guy is super nice. I don't know much about the woman. She's in there every once in a while. Every once in a while, you tell they're fighting in the auction, which is kind of funny. Um, but you can tell he's always on the defensive. Like, what do you? What? But he's like super. He's super nice. Um, Based out of California. What the Hales, George or whatever her name is. I guess something happened. I don't know what happened, but he came in there and he was just all down and I don't know what I'm gonna do. And he said something about his cameras. I don't know if he caught her cheating on him or something, and she had dropped her other account. I don't know. I don't really want to know, but just it was kind of funny to see like he was more worried about what the direction he's going to do with his channel because she was pretty, so he basically had her on there all the time to get his channel big. He knew people watched to watch her. There's a bunch of dudes just wanting to see her. And what are you going to do when he knows that people didn't go to watch him? It was to watch her. So he's probably like, crap. Now, I think he has close to like 500,000 subscribers. It's kind of what I thought, finally. Oh, yeah. It's like the Grimes fines back in the day. They were like, I'll never forget the day I stopped watching his stuff. It was it was right at the same time as like their place burnt down, and I'm like, he sure seems happy about. He didn't seem too mad that his place burned down, and like he had someone's whole collection of baseball cards, like worth hundreds of $1,000s, burnt down, and he wasn't even upset. I'm like, he probably said it, and that's why he's probably happy. He's like bringing coffee to the cops that were there and all this stuff. That's when I started kind of going, And then one day he had a show where I'm dumpster diving, and I watched, and on the top of this dumpster, it was a cardboard. I think it was a cardboard dumpster because it was clean as can be. And at the top of the cardboard, it was bagged and boarded comics that were worth thousands. I'm like, really? I unsubscribed that day. I'm like, that's really? I'm like, I don't. He's just trying to get that one video that goes good so he can get a bunch of subscribers, I guess. I don't know. That could be too. That could be too, for sure. uh, yeah, no kidding. It's it, like I remember Tommy talking about that at the beginning, like how the community, like you'll start seeing people that are just full of it, and like going down the road, I'm like, yeah. I don't know how some of those people that do the morning shows and do them every day. I'm like, how are you guys doing this? I would an hour every morning. That's crazy. Um, and they don't even really talk about reselling. I mean, I mean that's fine. They got to do what they got to do. But I'm like, I don't. I guess I'm not talking about much reselling either. um, yeah, he was pretty obvious. I remember he screwed over, I guess, Pirate one time, and that's kind of why I liked Pirate back in the day because he didn't make a big deal about it. He didn't even say who it was, but he started figuring out who it was by who he used to hang around with. But I guess they lock or what the hell screwed him over really bad on a deal and charged him for the. He had to claim it on his taxes, but he didn't get anything for splitting the locker or something. I don't even know. Yeah. I always make fun of people for even watching my videos. You came back, really? Now at the end, I always tell people to push the thumbs down button. I just think it's kind of fun. I mean, that's the only reason I still do videos is because I kind of like showing people what I actually know. And there's not a lot of people that really care about sports cards and antique mall. And I don't, when I first started doing it, I was hoping I could make some money on it, but and I'm not going to say I wouldn't still want to make money on it, but I don't want people to watch my videos for no reason. I mean, I don't know what's the point, but that's why I like watching Harry. Harry's about the only person I can watch that doesn't talk about reselling all the time. Even though he does, and he's good. He's good at it now. He had a great haul today. He must just live in a great area for garage sales because man, I can't find nothing like he's doing. He's killing it. He's had a great freaking year. He got he got a Wii U, three controllers, like 20 games today for $20, and I think almost all of them are either Zelda or Mario Brothers. So they're all going to sell. I mean, that one gold Zelda is probably close to his $20 back, just the one. And Harry's just, it is too bad, honestly, that if Harry 15 years ago, oh my God, he probably would have killed YouTube. I mean, in his prime, he's still great. I mean, it's he's just a lot of fun. He's just himself, and that's I think that's the main thing is you can tell when people aren't being themselves, especially after a little while. Um, People get mad over littlest things, There's not a lot in our community that are really very good, honestly. Yeah, I agree. He's still kind of a collector, but when you're putting yourself out there, and if you figure in the $3,000 he's going to make on those free clubs, kind of pays for all of his gas all year. But um, I agree. He travels a lot. Um, but that's what I started realizing too. Like, I'll never forget the time I saw John, Cincinnati Picker, and he was showing his 2 storage units. Um, and they were just so packed. And then that's the day I realized, I'm like, oh, he goes to the yard sales because it's great content. He can't really, being a one-man show, he can't really list as much as he's actually buying. So he's just gonna. There's a certain point where he's gonna back it up. And I think he bought a whole storage unit and just kept it um, at one point too. So I can see why like your videos do so good doing one thing. You just keep buying, and um, I love John's channel, and I still watch Commonwealth Picker. I don't watch a lot of content anymore unless it's a good title. I like Tesla Picker, but he don't put out as much anymore. Um, I wish Tim put stuff out, but he just does. It's because he does those live shows. He doesn't really have time to do content. Um, and then he does him and Authentic. I don't know how they're not bigger. I mean, they're really good. Um, I mean, shoot, it's better than a lot of the freaking pregame stuff you see on TV, and even the video cuts and the commercials and the stuff they do. It's 1,000 times better than anybody in the community. I don't. If they just keep grinding it out, before long, that's all that Tim will be doing. I mean, during certain times of the year, I mean, he'll still always resell, but if he should just go at that full time because man, they are good. Authentic is freaking good, and they know what they're talking about, which is huge. They kind of base their channel off entertainer. How do you say entertainer? It's entertainer and Bad Dog, which they're good. They're fun to listen to, but I don't think they don't have the knowledge that. And we all know how Tim is like master of learning things and just going full at it. He probably would have been diagnosed with something when he was younger back in the day if they would have diagnosed stuff. But it's probably to his advantage because he knows how to control it pretty good, and he's dives full steam into it. And those guys are really good with numbers and understanding football and sports. I know he's always driving to like Pennsylvania and stuff. I'm like, isn't that a long drive? I'm like, holy crap. Yeah. I stopped watching him when I'm sure I stopped watching him when he was wearing those bandanas all the time, like headbands. And I just remember watching, like thinking, is this a joke or he thinks they look good? And I guess a lot of, and that's when I realized too quick is like your own subscribers can goat you into doing things because they're trying to get your attention. Whatever gets your attention, so you mention them in a video, you'll do. So people are sending him all these headbands, I guess, and they wanted shout outs. I don't even know. I stopped watching because I'm like, what is this? This is terrible. And then when he was doing those like pallets, buying pallets for $25, and it was like he was having to run garage sales because it was just a bunch of crap. Yeah, if you're talking about Harry, I agree. He's a celebrity. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And the entertainer guy has a Farquhar law group behind him up on his channel. Like he got paid to. It would have to be a lot of money because he never even mentions them. You know what I mean? He barely talks about them. He'll talk about them whenever they come in. Um, But yeah, I mean, they're so much better than those guys, and they get like 2,500 people live in their chat at once. I'm like, how are they doing that and not authentic? But I think it's just grinded out a little time, and more people watch them. But they don't do the live play by play, which, I mean, honestly, they'd be perfect at it. Tim could be the color guy. Authentic does the play by play. And you can have Tim raising his voice high pitch. I can't believe they just did that, and he'd be a great play by like a color guy. And then you got authentic going like just talking about what it is. And they play good off each other because they have such a long history with each other. And that's another thing that I think goes so well. And they should just. And I kept telling them all freaking summer, there's so much stuff to talk about because NFL basically never stops. I'm like, you guys need to do more videos. I don't understand, why you're not, because it's so good. Yeah, I agree. You said that a long time ago, and I totally agree. Like he's bought so much stuff for his reselling sports stuff, and he's still never started that channel. Never really done much with it. I don't even think he's selling any of that stuff. He needs to sell it before the sports market goes down a little bit. But I agree. He's so good because there's times where he's trying, a little bit harder, but most time he's just himself, and he's great being himself. Can't disagree. Yeah. Yeah. I can't watch. I mean, I like Joey, but I can't watch it, man. It's like so much. It just doesn't seem real, and he he's like convinced him to quit his job and go full time. I'm like, but he doesn't even put out videos yet. You're wanting him to go full time, and he just does some lives here and there. I don't know how much money you can make off that unless you're just trying to get people to super chat you. And he didn't seem like he really knew. I mean, I don't know. I remember telling him one time, like, don't quit your job, a good job you got, because all you're going to do is put that pressure on your wife, who's going to have to make the money now. And he just kind of went like this. Yeah. I'm like, well, I shouldn't have said that because now he's like all depressed. But Drew does good, though. I mean, I've seen his stuff, but I don't really watch it much. I wish Cernock put out videos. But he's a real reseller. Real resellers don't really put out videos much. Yeah. Hey, what's up, David? My friend. Hope you're doing well. Did I miss one? Oh, yeah, that was the one. All Timisms. And then you got Authentic, who speaks perfectly with a deep voice. And the only thing I would say about Authentic and the Beard is that they love their team so much that they have these glasses for their team, and they have these unreal expectations. They think their team's going to win a lot when they don't, which I understand. I'm a Chiefs guy, so I get it. You always want to pull for your team and be positive, but unrealistic at points. So that's the only thing they need to watch is being a little unrealistic about their team winning all the time. But I get it too. Joey, probably, yeah. I mean, when he first started, I think he was doing, and I think this is one thing I learned. My problem with watching resellers was I tried to sell what they were selling when I should have stuck to what I was selling, doing good at, you know what I mean? And then eventually buy some of that stuff, if it's there and cheap. But I think that's what a lot of these guys did. Cause I remember Joey was doing like vintage stuff and he was doing pretty good with it, but then he started branching out because he's watching other people. I still like Harry's food reviews. That was 2 burps out of 5. It's just only Harry. uh, oh God, authentic and the beard on your channel that'd be awesome. That'd be awesome. I always like it when you have Tesla Picker on too. That's a good one. I always go to bed early. I can't ever watch. I need to stay up later or something. Well, here soon, when I'm not working, I'll be able to watch your videos more. I saw you had one the other night. It was like 8 hours of a marathon. I would have needed some heavy drugs back in the day to do that. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they admitted it last week. They were like, we can't call it the best division in football anymore because they're the worst division in football." Yes. Yeah. Exactly. The white guy talks like he's from the hood. Uh, is is OBX is he still doing the Tuesday morning listing shows? Those are always great. Um, but man, I wish Cernock did some videos. Yeah. I, I got up in the morning and saw that. I'm like, because it'll say like stream 50 minutes ago. I'm like, what? They just got off? I went back and looked, and you're like wearing a Joker's hat. Just kind of went in spots. It was funny. Oh, I miss alcohol sometimes. I was a big wine guy. I like Malbecs. Man, on my European cruise, I drank so much Malbec. I remember on our cruise, me and my uncle would get 2 bottles of wine every night because the cruises work. They had the great freaking meals every night. I mean, just blown out. And the last night, we asked our waiter for the wine list. He's like, "Haven't you drank them all?" It's like, shut up. Don't you already know what they all are? I can't wait to watch the Tuesday listing videos. Those were I mean the only listing show I'll ever watch because they actually list a lot, talk about stuff, but they're still listing. And I would get a lot of listing done when I was watching this because it was actually fun to list and just keep going because they were doing it too. I like Eric. Eric's a nice guy, you can tell, and having Tank and Tim on there is a lot of fun. I can't imagine homeschooling. Oh my God. The best thing about school would be get your kids out of your house. Free babysitting. I like watching Daily Refinement. Mainly too because he'll say, I made mistakes. I didn't that stuff wasn't right. But he says a lot of clothes, so I'm not. But I like how he talks about numbers and he talks about this and that. But he made a perfect point the other day. I don't have kids, but he goes, everybody always said that having a kid, he had just had his first kid. Having a kid is like a full-time job. He goes, it's not a full-time job. He goes, my full-time job never woke me up in the middle of the night, made me work. My full-time job never made me work 7 days a week. That's a good point. Yeah, it's easy to make. He's got good margins because he gets stuff so cheap. That honey hole. I tried the Whatnot app. What is it called? Whatnot app. This shit won't work for me. I went in there a few times. He's giving stuff away on that app, and it keeps breaking up and stuff. I can't get it to work. And I asked Tim, and Tim said you need to go, but you have to do it from your phone, and you have to go. He's like, you need to have it on internet. My internet isn't any better. So, but I think they're both kind of doing live auctions on there, which giving away good vintage stuff cheap. So that's interesting to see how that goes with them. But yeah, he knows his shit. I I need to get his setup, and that's another reason why. That's another reason why I don't sell. I don't list my. I have a bunch of great clothes, but I don't list them because I don't have a good place to take pictures of them, and I need to do that setup that he did. I think he took it from Daily Refinement. Um, you get the board and get so much, and then you have the perfect fabric where it just sticks to it, and you can easily put up your ruler and stuff. And I need to do that this fall so I can list a bunch of my clothes. I stopped putting clothes in my booth because people kept freaking stealing stuff. Um, but yeah, I wish you know. I realized too the best resellers are just not going to make videos. They're reselling. They don't. I mean, making videos and freaking editing them takes time, man. It's not easy. I've got my editing and taking them down, and it's still, you know, it takes time, especially if you want to like actually. You have to watch it like 3 times your stupid video just to get a good title, get a good hook. Even though you don't need a good hook, but it always helps a little bit to keep people in that may be watching for the first time. Um, so after making videos, it made me respect guys like Craigslist Hunter and some of the Pete's the OG, I think, in our community that's still doing it. I wish he put out more videos like he used to, but I'm sure he's just not, you know, one thing or another. Um, it makes you wonder too. Kind of stopped putting out videos whenever that one guy left, Adrian. It's almost like it's not as much fun because his buddy left. Um, but I still watch. I watch Adrian Black Swan. I watch his videos. They're pretty good. He had one the other day, and it was interesting to hear how the sailing worked, and just I like information. It's just cool to learn. He got caught on a fishing net, and he had to get his scuba gear on and wetsuit and freaking cut it all up. I was like, whoa, that's scary to think about how easy it is to get in some trouble. Bizarre. What was that? That's an app, isn't it? Bo. Bo. Bo doesn't like that dog. Hey, stop it. Yeah, Pete's the best. I'm sure he is a great person. I would have loved to have gone to that resale rally. God. Oh, Chris's number. You meant not Cernock, but Chris Daily Refinement. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, it's kind of crazy. It makes me wish I need to be more. I need to be better with my stuff. Was it the big hanger? Or was it the? Yeah, they had that hanger that had the extra part. Hey, Sandy. I appreciate you. He puts out daily videos? Man, maybe I've been missing them. Sometimes I don't get. Man, last time I looked, he was only putting like 1 or 2 a week. That new kid I didn't like. I don't know who that is. Crazy Picker Life. Yeah, see, I wasn't around then. Oh, the new kid with on Pete's channel. Daily Mega Flips. Or maybe that's what everybody's talking about. Has anybody ever posted on Instagram? Yeah. Harry's got awesome stuff on Instagram. Jam Dad. Go look him up. Yeah. Bo gets angry. He told me? He knows me? Yeah, tech sports guy. Holy crap. They put out how they list 300 items a day is crazy. I know, I guess they have someone taking pictures for them, but still. I want to go to the next reseller rally, but last year it was right in the hardest part of my year where there's just no way for me to get away. I like their lives. But what's funny is that Chris Daily Refinement's lives, it's every Tuesday morning. It's just always funny because you can tell he just holds back from some of these members that he has that are just so pathetic. When they talk, you're just like, what? You list 3 items a day, you do this full time, and then I'll look and see who they are, and you're like, they're probably just a housewife that wants to tell people they're a reseller, and they sit around watching Netflix all day and wonder why their numbers aren't better. Because the way they talk, you're like, what? I just need to get faster at listing. How many do a day? 3. 3 listings? I can do that in like 10 minutes. I probably list too fast without doing, collectibles is hard because a lot of my stuff's collectibles. So it's kind of, the comps might be $50 and it might be 150 a week later and then back to $50. So you kind of make your own comps a lot of times. It's not like shirts and stuff that sell all the time for close to the same price. So it's a little different. That's why I want to do more usable stuff here pretty soon, which I have a bunch. I just haven't listed them. I just like dealing with sports cards because I know more about sports, and music and media is fun to me. Yeah, when I started reselling, I stopped Netflix. I don't know. It's like a time suckage. And it got me back to where I'm learning stuff all the time instead of, there's nothing much to learn. There's some documentaries, but I burned through it. I burned through a lot of stuff anyway. That, man, Netflix is a time suckage. Holy crap. When I first started mowing, though, it was kind of nice because you get done mowing season, nothing else to do. So a great way to not spend money was to watch Netflix instead of going and doing things for cheap. But not anymore. Doesn't do me any good. Yeah, there was one guy that watched my channel and he's yelling at me about why I didn't want people to subscribe to, because he's like, one channel was like, why don't you subscribe to Anthony, Bluegrass Picker? And I'm like, only subscribe if you're going to watch. And the guy's like, why? I'm like, because it doesn't help you to get people to subscribe that don't watch. And why would you even want that? I mean, there's so many people that just want to make money on YouTube. They don't care. I mean, it's real obvious when they make videos. You're like, you're not even trying to help anybody. If you're not trying to help anybody, why would anybody want to watch you? Like, I because I have lots of videos that I'll watch and I go, there's nothing that's going to help anybody. Why put this out? I'm not going to do what sold today just because it sold. I have lots of stuff that I don't put up that sold because it's not going to help anybody. I'm not big enough for being shed flips to just put out a bunch of what sold and pulling items. Well, he always had good information no matter what. I miss his freaking channel. He still puts out stuff every once in a while, but I miss seeing Lonnie every day. That's for sure. I saw something on. He has that Facebook group. I saw something. It looked like Candace yelled at someone about something like a couple of weeks ago, and I'm like, "Whoa!" I don't know if it was someone not being. I don't know. And they had some kind of tragedy go on. Yeah, it's just there's so many YouTube resellers that quit after 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours, and they figure out how much money they're going to make on their video when they have 40 people watch. It's nothing. And they're like, I did all this and I'm not going to make money. Crap. And they never really wanted to do it. That's the whole point. There's so many people that, and I know there's a lot of people that watch my videos. The only reason they're watching it is because they want to make their own videos. So they're not really watching it to get information, even though I know my information would be good for people that sell sports cards, especially. But Harry got a good deal today. I've sold a Wii U for good money before. I don't know if it had all the accessories. I saw it had like 3 remotes, but you watch for the guitar lessons. Yeah. I need to actually put out. I was going to start another channel, which I probably will pretty soon, because something I like to do is I'm going to show people how to play the songs I can play, so maybe they can actually play them good. But at least I know the technical reasons behind it. But mandolin too. I've gotten pretty good at the mandolin, and just to show the songs that I know, and because there's a lot of people that don't have a teacher. I'm lucky I have a teacher, and so there's some people out there that want to know more about mandolin, and there's a lot of people that have good. There's so many good guitar channels. So the mandolin channels, there's just not very many of them, and the ones that there are kind of too hard to play some of that stuff. So, and there's not a lot of people that like bluegrass, but I like everything. I like jazz. I like freaking blues. I like it all. Yeah, I like the vinyl guys. I watch a couple channels that have vinyl records. They talk about them, so just so I know a little bit more about what's really going. I sold a Wii U to like Germany last year. I got it in the box. It sold for it sold for quite a bit because it wasn't new in the box, but I had the box with it and everything. Yeah, I wish I would have been able to go see him this year. Yeah. I would have gone, but my buddy's a high school football coach, and it's when they were closest. It's his busiest time of the year, so he couldn't go. Going to a day by yourself is pretty lame, but I about did it because a lot of people are the same people, but it's not as much fun without going with your friends. Getting old, responsibilities suck. All my friends have kids. I'm glad I don't have kids. Holy crap. Having dogs is bad enough, but it's nothing like heads. Holy crap. I don't know how y'all do it. I can't keep track of my own ass. Yeah. Um, I remember when I saw him, he was wearing the gloves still, so I thought it was I thought it was Carter. And at my phone, I can't see that close. He did a freaking good job. Um, Robert Randolph, man, I freaking love him. I saw him 1 year open for Dave. Man, I love the way he plays. That sound he gets out of it. It's just so unique, and he sings really good. I've liked a lot of the bands that Dave's had open for him. I remember they had shit, I forget their name now. They were popular for a little bit, but oh god, oh well, I'm gonna forget. Um, but yeah, it's man, I don't know if it's because I grew up on Dave or what, but it's still the older I've gotten, the more I realize I don't understand how Dave can sing and play the guitar like that because his stuff's so hard to play in the first place, and then he's singing at the same time. I mean, think about how many people you see play guitar, the, and a lot of his early stuff, it's the lead guitar. You know, he started making stuff for Tim Reynolds to play later on, but at the beginning, it was just him, and he's playing the lead guitar and the backup guitar, the rhythm guitar at the same time, and singing. I don't know, how, and the singing doesn't really match up very good. I mean, how to explain it? It doesn't follow the same thing. I love it that way, but it doesn't. It's not easy to do in the first. I don't know how he does it. I mean, when people look back on him, they're gonna be like, "What? Who?" I mean, I'm trying to think of who actually, because like, Jerry Garcia maybe was a guy that people would think about, but his songs are really easy. He would do really hard solos, but they fit what he was playing, and the stuff he was playing wasn't that hard. His solos were hard, but you just don't see that very often. Um, Dave's freaking amazing. Jam band. Well, I mean, they say Dave's a jam band, but it's just because they do jam. I saw, I was at the Gorge once, and he played number 41. They did a they did an instrumental in the middle. They just did a jam for 41 minutes in the middle of number 41. And it was like a 60-minute song. It was incredible. It was incredible. They did gosh, I forget the name of it. It's a slow song from one of their early albums. Yeah. There's one where he got on the end of the stage and just did it a cappella, playing with just his guitar. It was freaking awesome. And the band joined in and then blew it up. It was, gosh, it's an obscure song. I forget what it is now. That's funny. That's cool. I had a buddy that was a big 311 fan, and I mean, he was huge. He got VIP tickets one time. Got go backstage just to hang out with him, and he wanted to talk to him, and all they wanted to do was talk about politics. He's like, "Man, I don't want to talk about politics. What's up, Glock?" Glock has his own sound whenever he goes into Authentic in the Beard. That's some high praise, which is cool because they're going to be huge one day, and they'll always still do that for Glock. Yeah, seriously, the Gorge was. I mean, I haven't been to Red Rocks, so I'm saying this without Red Rocks, but it was unbelievable, and mainly because the area, it was like 2.5 miles slow descend down to it, down to the Columbia River, and you get to the bottom, and it was fantastic. The sun set behind the stage, then the moon set behind the stage, and then the Big Dipper set behind the stage. It was just fantastic. The weather was amazing because the Columbia River is just glacier runoff um, from the high mountains, and so the water's like 50. I don't remember, 56 degrees, pretty much steady, and it was like 100 degrees that day. And so the wind is it's just churning. The trees were bent like this, growing. I remember when I first got there, I'm like, why are the trees bent like that? That's weird. It looked like Dr. Zeus or something. Dr. Seuss. Um, and then after the first night, I realized why. Because at night the wind goes insane, and it's like steady. It's kind of like when I don't know if anybody's been in a tornado, but tornado wind is weird because it's like the same speed. There's no gust to it. It's like a vacuum. It's really weird, and that's how it was out there. It's like it creates its own weather system. It's so strange. No, it wasn't number 40. It was God, saved. I don't know why I can't think of it right now. It's strong in him. Miss Sparks. Miss. I was at a garage sale today, and there's this woman carrying a kid, and then she had like a 2-year-old girl running around, and it was a community-wide garage sale. She goes, "I'm selling kids if you want one." She was funny. It's a medium song. Let me look it up. He has so many songs. I'll back you up. That's what it was. It just came to me. I didn't even find it. Yeah, and he started off singing on the end. He sat down on the end of the stage, spotlight on him, just playing a guitar, and then he gets to the second chorus, and then the whole band jumps in. The lights come on. He gets up and he backs up and sings the rest. It was one of the few times they sang "I'll Back You Up" for you. Like they'd only played it like 5 times in the first at that point in all their career. So we got lucky on that show. And me and my buddy always do the same thing. When we go to that show, we would always say, what's the 5 songs you want to hear at the show? And that one that we went to, my 5, four of the first 5 were my 5. It's like, this show was made for me. And they played the other one too. So all 5 of mine got played. So it was kind of a game we always played. Yes, I remember thinking. It's a good slow. Yeah, I love that song. Great guitar work in it. Yeah, he's got so many songs. It's crazy. Number 41, because it's the 41st song I wrote. Yeah. Yeah, I think that's another thing too. Is I don't know if it's just about my area. Like it's the same thing as Goodwill's. Like the garage sales are like Goodwill. Like, well, on eBay, they're asking 35. I'm like, asking or selling? And is that before fees or after fees and taxes and the transfer of money? I'm like, why do you think you're going to get more money? I didn't want to argue. I just walk on by now, and people selling. Today I was like, ooh, there's some plush. Went over and looked, and everything was marked at like $5 for each plush. I'm like, it's not even worth my time. I love plush. I love to sell it, but all I can think about is like these are like pillows to get slobbered on. Like I don't want them in my house really that much. There's nowhere. It's hard to store plush, but it does sell good in my booths. So I'll put them in there because it draws people in. Like, ooh, and they sell pretty good in my booth. I don't understand why Plush. Why the heck does Plush sell so good? I don't really get that. I looked it up one time and it was like this weird prison thing with, yeah. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Uh, I'm still contemplating, like looking to see if I can find tickets, but man, going by myself is just not doesn't sound. It's like a lot of things. If you're not sharing with your friends, it doesn't seem like you're. It's like going kayaking by yourself. Like I don't know, but I do. I and what I like about Dave, he learned over time. Like when a new album comes out, he'll has to put out some of those songs from his new album, but he mainly plays his old stuff that he knows people want to hear. Um, you go see some of those guys, some of those shows, they don't want to play their old songs. I'm sure I'd get sick of them too, honestly. If you had to play your own song 300 times a year, it would be annoying. But I used to love Dave because, well, the reason I really went to him a lot was in St. Louis, they had a Harrah's that was close to the stadium, the venue. And so you could stay at Harrah's, and back then it was like $80 a night to stay at Harrah's. And so I think when I first started, it was like $60 a night. But anyway, $80 a night, stay there. They would even have a shuttle take you over to it. It was about half a mile to a mile walk at the most. I think it was like half a mile walk. So we just get wasted cheap at Harrah's. You get there early, and they're going to give you cheap drinks. Sometimes they're free you know at the casino, and then you just walk over because you didn't have that way. You didn't have to drive your stuff over. And Dave shows the hard part is parking and trying to get out of the parking lot. After the show, it takes an hour most of the time to get out of the parking lot. So we could, and then we could walk home and be as wasted as we wanted to be, and just have to walk back to Harrah's, and then usually get a late dinner, cheap, and go to bed and wake up, try to be up out of there by 11. And it was perfect. It was perfect. But then they stopped doing the shuttle, so then you had to walk, and then they even put up like a moat so you couldn't get across. Because I think people figured out what you were doing, so then you had to like walk around it, and it took longer. But there for a while, it was just perfect. And I miss, I don't usually say I miss those days because, you say you miss those days, you're not paying attention to what's good now. But man, I miss that. That was freaking awesome. Yeah, it's true. Everybody's, yeah, that was never a problem for me. Yeah, no, I agree. I kind of have gone through that in my own head. Is like just getting to a show now after all this crap the last couple of years. It's just might be worth it. Just go. Um, yeah, I think the last thing I went to was Joe Rogan's um, comedy show, like 2018. It's the last thing I went to, or 2019. Yeah, 2019, that fall. It was pretty funny. I don't know. He's funny, but I don't know. He hangs around funnier people. I want to see like a Bill Burr. Bill Burr, God, that guy kills me. Yeah, believe me, I definitely get that one. I had an ex that every time we went to a concert, we get back together, even though we weren't planning ever. We both didn't. even like each other after a certain point. But we, some reason, the stupid concert would always get us back together. Freaking, yeah. Started asking, is she going to be there? Because I can't go. Because we always, yeah, I get that. And that's true. Yeah. Hey, Harry. We were just talking about you. Well, we talked about you for half the show. Half the. I've been on here for 2.5 hours. Holy shit! That freaking flew by. Good finds today on the Wii U, and did it have all the stuff that comes with it? Was there a Wii and a Wii U? I just saw the Wii U, and all those games. Shit, one of those games will sell for $20. The Zeldas, I'm pretty sure, I've sold that gold Zelda for 20, and the Mario Karts, I think, still go for around 20. So you should do really good with all that stuff, as long as they're not real scratched up and they got the books in them. But I'm guessing that they probably aren't. Probably in good shape. But what else you get? Those you get those. You got those lanterns. That's cool. Those will sell my boost really super fast. I didn't see the King Cobra. Used to be a good driver. I had one. I loved it. I don't know if they're still worth a lot, but I bet that driver, the bag alone would get $25 in my booth. But I don't know about on eBay. I need to go bathroom. I've been under too long. I'm sitting here trying to avoid my working today. I've done a good job of it. Holy crap. Thanks for everybody to hang out and give me a Harry's day drink. That's going to make for a good show tonight. He's trying to figure out something. That's going to make for a good show tonight.
Hold on, I'm going to click out real
He's trying
quick.
to figure out something. Okay.
How's that? You hear me?
Yep. It's the lighting.
New and exciting thing. I'm tingling here. I'm moving everything upstairs. That's the grand showcase back there. I'm going to be streaming in the new office area. Cool. I just wanted to see if it all came in. That light behind me is Jesus. When look, I'm like holy now.
You're an angel. She let you move all this stuff upstairs? Awesome.
She's the one that kicked me out. She says, "Why don't we do this?" And I said, "No." Then I thought, I live stream up there going to be loud. She says, "I'll put the fan on and the earplugs in," because she don't want to hear me anyway. She has to hear me, for at least a half hour today. So she's going to block me out. And if worse comes to worse, I'll put French doors there. This is going to be nothing but wall to wall treasure. Right. And it's that room I was in is going to be my new packing and shipping room. I'm cool. Gearing up for 2022. That's great. So this is it. Get your retirement coming in and start freaking reselling. Well, I got 6 years of working still, but I wouldn't mind if it's going to work like I think it is. I'm quitting. I'm going to do this full time, but we'll see. We'll see. I like my safety net too. So, I understand. It's easier to buy stuff when you're getting money coming in. That's why I've stayed mowing. I mean, it's just easier. No, I got to get some lighting in here. I said it's pretty dark. That's like Dave, Midwest Dave. So yep. We'll put the lights up and we'll put a little bit of Burt Bacharach playing in the background, like one of them 70s, 60s movies, So here, Tommy has a question. Didn't you get that? Wasn't that a Wii U you got today? It was, but it don't have the one cord, Tommy. You want to come test it? We'll talk. I'm talking serious. If he wants it for some reason, I mean, you need to black out that window. He'll get me something, and cut him a deal because this winter I plan on when yard sales end and that stupid beach traffic ends. I want to go down to that auction he goes to all the time, at least once in a blue moon, you know.
Yep, that'd be some great video right there. I like the video you guys did that one time. It was pretty good.
That was at Spencer's Bazaar, but he goes to it. He
Different
showed me he had an auction the other day that he clicked in on, sent me a link, and but the stuff was, you know, I got to be there. I got to feel it and I got to see it.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's
Oh, Tommy said he has the cords, so he's got you covered on that one.
Just text me, Tommy, or whatever.
Just trade for something.
We'll talk. We'll do it, and the deal be later. If you really want one, there it is, right there. Make sure it works. You have to come up and test it out.
What's up, Kyle? You going to West Side's auction tonight? When are you going live tonight?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to or not. I might have retired. I might go on other people's live. No, I'm going live.
I was saying, you better not do that to me.
I'm going
to. We all love your show. You make a lot of people upset if you didn't go live.
Jesus, last night I was thinking about, but I ate a good dinner last night, so I was kind of worn out from being on call. So everybody and their brother's on Friday night. I mean, there's 20 shows.
Well, like
and there's 20 auctions.
I get that, but like for me, I'm on my computer. So I can have multiple things open.
Yep.
And I can mute the auction. And if I just go in and look at the auction, if it's something I want, then I can go look at it. But I'll have you on. You know what I mean? So don't let that stop you.
No, it's not going to.
I know.
If I get 20 people in there, that's plenty.
Yeah.
I mean, but there's so many people. I mean, some of these people stream in the morning. They stream in the afternoon. They stream at night, and there's resellers.
We were talking about that earlier. We were talking about that earlier. Like, I don't know how they do that. Like Cajun Roots or whatever, Johnny, he goes live like 3 hours a day some days. I'm like,
Victoria, my God, she's on, and Nana, my God, they're always on.
I mean, props to them. I don't know how I just don't know how they do it.
They love it, I guess. So that's cool. But I'm cutting in once in a blue moon. The people kind of watch them, and some of those shows don't really watch mine anyway.
That's the thing too. Yeah, and a lot of those people would probably just come over. They're just watching because they're bored and have anything else to do.
I'll do something here coming up. It's just I was on call, and the other week I was trying something, so I didn't get on. Now I've moved this up here. I'm excited. This is going to be a good place to do it. And then if the hippies all stumble back from the Delaware's Woodstock, I'll make them get on too. I get a whole house full of them. They helped me bring this up today.
Nice.
Some of the guys that are staying here. So there's probably about 10 kids here. Alabama, Tennessee, Jersey, Delaware, PA. So I've got a couple states here. They're having a ball. I've even got my middle daughter going there. So
Harry's the #1 show.
Yeah, I'll get back into it. Well, they're going on at 10, so if I come on tonight, it'll be 8. So I'll sneak something in to warm them all up for the big show at 10.
I think, honestly, there'd be a lot of people upset if you didn't come live. No one else, if they stopped going live, they'd just be like, if you stop going live, people be calling you like, please, we need you.
Maybe 10 people. I think they'll get over it. Just stick some reruns of like Beverly Hillbillies on something.
It's kind of like when Tommy kind of changed around his like days. People are like, wait a minute, we're so used to like certain times. When are you going to be on?
I don't even know if the burritos were on last night or the two Jackass and Lobster. I couldn't find them because I was going to watch them a little bit. I was up in bed, but then there's 4 Texas girls that kind of do some kind of auction thing, and then we had the one girl. I think Rachel. She was starting to live stream now, but I mean, how many channels are going to talk about? I'm giving life changing stuff out here that people need. They don't need to know what sells on eBay.
I agree.
But she's better looking than me. There's no doubt about that. So she's going to beat me there. So
hey, Tommy's got a question for you.
No, I'm not on call next weekend. Possible.
God, I love the food.
Possible because the concert's over and the summer's over. What day you want to do it? That's the thing. That's in Lewis, isn't it?
Hogan's Heroes.
Hogan's Heroes.
Need to do a list of top 10 shows. The number one is going to be the one where you pull the hamstring, cramp. I'm sorry.
Oh man, that was real.
I know
that hurt like hell. That was a muscle spasm.
Yep.
God darn, that hurt. So I flew out of this seat. This seat came from a yard sale today. This was $5, man. You can't beat this. So I was sitting at a kitchen table. I was sitting in a dining room table chair. One of my, I finally found one. I said, that first yard where I got the Wii, I thought they were going to go low too. He says, man, I want to just get rid of it. How about 20? I said, everything's bang, bang. I'll take it.
Yeah, no kidding. I never find those deals anymore. Well, like there's guys in my area that's all they do is resell video stuff. So they just go through every garage sale and buy up stuff. And if I get to, the only way I get it is if I get there before everybody else.
There was you'll see later in the video, I went through a box. They were $3 a piece. They look like all sports games. So I didn't. Yeah, I don't know.
I saw that one. The Xbox.
I was going by what you guys were saying, where the Mario was the big ones. So and Guitar Heroes and stuff like that. So it was all there. I paid $1 a video. There's 19 videos plus whatever what is that Wii I got?
Wii
U, that little thing?
Yep.
That little black thing?
Yep.
So there's no cord to plug it in to test it. I don't know if we have one here.
Well, Tommy, he has this cord, so
all right,
you'll be good to go. It works out for both of you that way.
Lobster
quit. Well, I stopped watching because it was just so weird, and it was just like him mad at his wife all the time.
Oh, so my wife has just been gracious. I mean, she's really got mad maybe one time. I said, "Come on, are you dead serious?" And she got over it quick.
Yeah.
And
well, I was saying too is I love your. I still like your reviews of the food.
I did one last night. It's on the Harry Adventure thing. We ate at this place where the UD students put it on you. So I put it over on that. I'm not going to put them on. I made it. It's like 4 minutes long. I can't do it in a minute. I got to make noises and all that stuff, and that adds time. So that's why I put it over on that Harry Humstone Adventure thing. Yeah, that's just going to be food reviews and hiking and stuff like that. You know, you want a life change. Maybe I'll do a little Sunday sermon as we get going in life here.
Second Colossians. Those Xbox games, I've still sell some Xbox games, but if you get like Tiger Woods and stuff like that, you need to get like 2 or 3 Tiger Woods and make a lot out of them. That's what I found. But they'll still sell if you can get them somewhat cheap. But yeah, I mean, even some of those old, even just not just Xbox 360, but even just Xbox, I've sold, and there's still some obscure ones that are kind of rare that go for pretty good money.
Yeah, that's something I got to figure out more as I get going. Now, there was that Cobra driver I got. That seems like that's going to list for about 60. Yep. So that pays for the bag. So who cares about the rest? But I think those clubs, putting them together, I'll get another $50 to $100. So clubs are I get the perfect boxes for them. They're just too easy to ship.
Yep. That King Cobra, I had that driver. I hit that driver for about 6 or 7 years. It was a great driver back in the day. And I remember buying it it was over 200 brand new.
Well, there was a ping today, and I didn't know if I wanted to pull the trigger on it. It was a driver's ping 1.0, 9.5 degree. He goes, I paid $400 for that, and he had 20 on it. I said, I'll give you 10. No, I said, well, you got. I don't want to pay $20 for a club. I don't want to get stuck with it.
Yeah.
I said, how about 15? Because I'm confident he used it some, but he changed.
Yeah.
I could have went back, but not for one club. Now, if it's a $200 club, I'll give him the money right away.
Well, that's another insight too. The 9 and 9.5 degrees definitely will sell easier than the 10.
Really? Why?
Even though I use a 10, but most people want the lower loft because it keeps it lower. It'll roll more.
See, I don't know anything about that. You give me a bag of those old things I got, I'm ready to go whack it. Yeah. I'll hit it this way if it's over this way, and it'll hook right around for me perfectly. So.
Yeah, I before reselling, I used to play a lot of golf. I was pretty good at it. Using my baseball skills, it helped, but I don't really have the time for it anymore. And it's another one of those things. It's like if you don't have anybody to play with, and I like to play with my dad, and he lives 2 hours from here, so.
Yeah, my father used to play wife beater and all.
Any game is worth $1. Don't leave any behind.
Don't leave any behind. Yeah, no, I knew that was a banging deal. I was going to grab it, no matter what. That was easy to figure out. I got a lot of games here now.
Oh yeah, see Tommy saying what I did.
Even Madden,
same things. I sold 2 Call of Duties the other day, like a 2 and a 3, Black Ops, and they sold for like $15. But by themselves, they almost make more money if you're lotting them up.
Well, those games I just picked up had 2 or 3 Zeldas, and it had 3 or 4 of those. There was no sports games in there. They were all kid games. I thought that they were the more desirable ones. As I show them as in the video, which ones I actually got. So, and they're all there. So looks pretty good to me.
That was. It's funny when you started off with, I got a little head this morning.
Oh yeah.
I'm surprised Tracy didn't respond. She'll go watch it now.
Well, that's that my little back alley humor. I always like.
Oh yeah.
Called them a bunch of meat sticks because they were still in bed, so I was waiting for somebody.
I heard that was funny. Bunch of meat sticks. Get out there, get your stuff out.
It's 8:15 and the thing's supposed to be 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
One guy sets up a tent, and he's still not out there. If I drive in that neighborhood, that goddamn tent's still up there. So.
Yeah, I went to over a dozen, and I drove by like 5 or 6 more that I could tell just didn't have what I wanted, and there was nothing for me. They got picked over. Or, I don't know. I got out like early, like 8. It's like 8:15 when I first started. So,
what do you think of that Metallica thing?
I would have bought it for the price you paid for it. I could have easily sold my booth, but I probably would have kept it, honestly.
No, I'm gonna put it for $50.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll sell on eBay for that.
Yeah, that's what
people love Metallica.
Yeah, and that's got the 2 little CDs. They're gold. I guess I'm commemorating their millionth sale of that. And that bass player's with them, not the one that died, but the second one.
Has a bass player's autograph on it?
No. The bass player's in that band still, so it's from the 90s, I guess, because he's been going for a while, hasn't he? The one that left.
Yeah. Was Megadeth? Was Dave Mustaine? Wasn't he in Metallica at the very beginning?
They kicked him out, and replaced him with the black hair dude.
Kirk Hamlin.
Yeah, who's now gray hair dude.
Yeah,
because they're all old. This dude came to my house today. He's one of the college kids at Mackenzie goes with. He picked up my guitars and just started going. Nice. I said, "You look, I man to play everything I had." He says, "I heard you have the Gibson." I showed him, and he's playing away, man. It's finger picking. He's a guitar player. I mean, he's outstanding.
That's cool.
Took that old piece of garbage cue stick I have, and you would have thought, wow, this dude can play. He was playing right away, so
that's awesome.
There was 4 community yard sales in my area. Someone.
Tracy had a yard sale today.
Yeah, I'm going to have one in November.
I like your garage sales too. Those are good
Yeah.
videos.
I'm going to have that. I'll do it live probably at the yard sale, but
yeah,
I went. There was four community yard sales, and 3 of them. Well, actually, there was 5, because the last one I went to was called Brennan Estates, and that's up above the canal. That one blew the high hard. I mean, it was terrible. I'm not going back up to that one, no matter what.
Yeah.
The ones down here there were 3 over on the other side of town, like Townsend, it's called. They were terrible too. I'm glad I hit the first one I hit. I picked the right one off the bat.
Yeah.
Because the first yard was probably till I got that golf bag, was probably the best stuff I was getting.
The first one I went to had a hurricane lamp. I was super excited. Of course, it was already gone. I'm like, dang. And they said they had vinyl. They had someone they had like 100 vinyl, and they had them priced all different prices, like $4.50, $3, $5, and they weren't even good ones. I'm like, that must have took you so much time. You should have just put $1 each or something. You know what I mean? That's what most garage sales do, and they weren't even that good. So I was kind of disappointed. The one I picked wasn't. That's one of the keys, is picking the right one at the very first 2 or 3 you go to. I
went in one yard and I had Pyrex. 3 of these daisy pattern. I think the green, white daisies or whatever they were.
Mm-hmm.
How much? 2 of the bowls are beat. So how much? $25. That's a good price. They're nuts. They had another piece was chipped. Yeah, trying to get $10. I mean, some people are nuts. I love when the eBay thing comes out. Hold on. Now they're selling on eBay for $150. No, they're not. You're looking at what
they're listed for, freak.
And they're selling on eBay for $50. So stop it.
I did the same thing. I was talking about that this morning. Like everyone I went to, they had eBay prices of like listed prices, not even sell. And then of course they never think about having to take their fees that get taken out. It's like when I try to estimate mowing lawns, they think that you're getting the whole price. I'm like, I have to pay taxes. I have to pay for the machine. I have to pay for the gas to get here, the gas to run it. I'm not getting all that $45,
Where's our wet spot? Right there. Your dog just came here and peed right in front of me.
She did?
No, I don't know how. I was probably slobbering because I'm so excited that this is in here now. Where? No, I don't know what that is. I'm just testing out my live skills, and they're still good. And I've got this little glowing thing back here. It's like holy.
My eBay's been really slow for me. I don't know what. I haven't put a sale up. I don't usually do sales, but I did 10% off my entire store. It's just like, I need some sales.
I just sold those Legos for $300. The ones I bought a few weeks ago.
Nice.
I sold that one box. I got like 60 for that.
Wow.
This one's supposed to not be open. I kept it that way. I didn't bother. It looks like it's never been open. So I just somebody made a $300 offer and I took it.
Heck yeah.
They're those Star Wars Legos, that thick box I got.
Yeah.
Well, I only paid $30 for both. So
I
like that. Hey, Swamp.
I've had a few things listed on Facebook. I haven't messed with it much. I probably should do more.
I seen Tommy put Peppa Pig on Facebook. It popped up on my thing. Delaware. He's in a group.
Yeah.
Hey, I know Tommy.
I've seen some of your stuff come on there, and Cernock. Cernock always has like broken computer parts only. It's always like something like that. Printer parts only.
I put the pedal cars on there. I have one on right now. I just picked up a John Deere hat with that last Grand Slam deal I had.
I saw that
Monday night. That ephemera stuff. I can't wait. January, I'm going to just start. I'm just selling it all. I mean, I'm going to lot it up and go. That stuff, I guarantee it's going to be like golf clubs selling. And the thing is, I guess I should put that in that envelope thing and send it. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Isn't that envelope like $8?
Well, wait a minute. What envelope?
the United States Post Office, the envelope. You
Oh,
can
the
stick as much in there as you want.
yeah. I mean, I never use it, but I don't know. I
I
guess
think I used it to
that makes
send out.
sense. I've just never used it. I have a bunch of them. I've never.
I don't.
I
I
can't
think
remember. I think it
people
is
that are buying,
7.95.
if people are buying antiques or old stuff, I think they don't care about the shipping price.
Yep.
They want the pictures.
Yep.
These are all 1870s and 1860s. The ones I just got just before, those gold frame ones are probably the same. But I got like 10 of those. No, I got 6 or 7. But I just got that whole box of all that old stuff for $20. I know they're going to do well.
Oh
So
yeah.
I'm just waiting till January to start stocking it up.
Mr. Bislot sells a lot of those things.
Yeah, I know. He's crazy. He's got, he sells them on his auctions. It just seems like people are overpaying sometimes just to get stuff off of him.
Yeah. I mean,
Crazy.
he even admitted to one day about how he made more money on those auctions for band posters than he gets on eBay.
Can't beat that.
But if it's working, it's working. I don't blame him. I bought a bunch of them from him. They're freaking good. I got some good ones.
He's got some cool ones.
I already had it on best offers and trending over. I need to do some more over the trending, but
yeah, old Tommy Numbers. He knows his eBay. There's no doubt about it. So
absolutely.
he knocks heads off. Who does?
Oh wow. I need to get back into it. I'm just doing this stuff part time. I can't really go researching new things. Kind of just sticking with what's been working for me.
Well, I think Facebook's ready to gear. Didn't somebody say they're building a great big building for? I think they're going after eBay. So
I wouldn't be surprised.
A competition,
eBay's,
but I don't want to see that little. I don't want to see that little creep put everybody out of business because he'll just ruin it for future things. He's a creepy bastard.
He's a really creepy dude.
I can't stand. I mean, I would rather see him get one of those bastards get COVID and drop it.
Did you see the way he drinks water?
I can't stand. I just don't. I can't.
It's like a robot.
There's something about that creepy bastard. He's smart, but him and his Microsoft buddy, they're both creepy.
A lot of those guys are creepy. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm creepy too, but that's a different.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of true too. That like the best thing about eBay is they just have that many people looking at their stuff because otherwise it's kind of crappy the way everything's set up and it's so like the other day.
eBay's easy to me. I mean,
it's easy, but I mean it should be way easier, and it's not geared for sellers at all. They one of the things they started doing because all these graded cards came out this last year or so, so they made a new required what do you call it, item specific, and they made it required on all my listings I had to push graded. If it's no or yes, I have to push on every single one of them, and condition used. And so I had to change all my listings. I'm like, God, it's just dumb crap like that, stuff that doesn't even needed. Well, it's already in the listing description already. And they do the same thing with records. They make it so hard. I'm gonna start selling Discogs because it's easy. You don't even have to have. You can use an old picture. You don't have to use. And they make it a lot harder than it needs to be. Even though it's still easy most of the time, but they still make it harder than it should be.
Well, that's what they got. Well, this Facebook coming up. I mean, he's not going to. They're going to find out. Somebody's going to get it all together. So. I like the competition. I wish I knew a little bit more about Etsy, but Etsy's kind of funky too. It's just, I can take this phone and go from clean across the board on eBay, from listing, the selling, the print, and everything. I know how to do it there, so I'm comfortable. And
Yeah.
I know how to sell on Facebook Marketplace, but I've never got into the shipping part. I meet the person in the parking lot, we exchange, and it's over with. Goodbye. So you don't see them again. They look at it and they say yay or nay. And I like it that you can still snipe people, because it's happened to me a lot. Pedal tractor the other day, I had it. I said, I'm coming. She texts back later on. She says, I'm taking it off. Too many people were interested. She sold it. Somebody come in at $200 or something.
Yep.
Okay, so what? Good for you. Just
It
doesn't bother me. I get some deals I get, and some deals I don't. So I don't want them to change that part. I like that. I like that part where you can kind of.
I have found too, it's weird on Facebook when I go to buy something and they're like, yeah, someone come in for a more expensive price, but if you get here, I told you I'd do it. So like people are pretty good about that, like I told you first, I'll hold my word to you.
Yeah, well, this is the new get up here. Got the old grand showcase in front of me. It's going to be the whole wall of all my stuff. I got a shelf that goes all the way from top to bottom. It's going to be sweet.
You need to take the desk out so you can do a pedal car with your helmet on.
That would be awesome. But all this stuff, Sherry got my great picture of the Potomac Falls. That's cool. Yeah. It's going to be different. Stuff's going to be behind me. There maybe a couple dead animals. Who knows what I'll put back there. Halloween crap. Matter of fact, I'll probably put Elvira right there starting tonight.
Yeah, so we can, because it's too bright in the day, but at night it won't be that big a deal.
Yeah, I can close that curtain probably.
Well, at night,
have to put a light back there. I mean, I have to mess with it. Because this right now that's all that is.
Because people want to see your face and your expressions when you're doing stuff, when you're talking.
Yeah, there you go. We'll lighten it up some. We'll figure it out. I got my through the years light here, so look, uranium chin. So. Now I'll lighten it up somehow because it is pretty grim. It's grim, so.
Yeah, you start doing like all the big YouTubers put colors around the borders of stuff.
We'll jump on. Hey, I didn't mean to say. I meant to say thanks for letting me jump in. I really want to see what this would look like, and I like it. I'm going to like it when all my crap's up here. Then I've got that back room, and that's the beginning of where I put all my stuff ready to go. I'll have shelves all in that area I was in.
People still want to have your dolls there. They want.
They're going on this corner. They have to come back up.
Yeah,
they'll be up. If I do a live tonight, we'll see.
Will it be easier to get your beer quicker?
No, it's the fridge is like that. There's a bathroom right there, so in the foyer. So
it would be a one.
We got that big open foyer in there, so that's kind of wasted space. But there's a bathroom right there, so I'll be able to 2 and 2 real quick, just like always. No harm, no foul. Absolutely. Well, when I'm running, this will be my campaign room.
I'd actually be happy about voting for someone.
2024. That's right. I'm stoned and you perfect together. So,
change and hope.
Thanks for letting me jump in real quick.
I need to get off here. I've been on here way too long. I just wanted to come on for an hour, so holy crap.
Yeah, I just popped on. I said, "Oh shit, Anthony's on. Let me go check that out and see what he's doing." So,
well, you better come on tonight. You got us all excited and tingly.
Yeah, it'll be 8 or 9 if I do an hour. Try to at least do an hour.
Yeah.
I got some real good rapid fire top 10s coming up in the future.
Good. And like I said, people will watch they'll watch you and have an auction in the background. That shouldn't stop anybody.
Yeah, they can still auction. You got like West Side's he was even on last night, I think. West Side was on just talking. I could have swore I seen that pop up like 12 o'clock or something like that. So
Yeah.
when I go to the bathroom like that, you got to get out of bed like 4 o'clock in the morning. Three or four, you see who was on live and see them all pop up. Tracy, Tommy are still battling. So they're still once in a while say, "What's up?"
Thanks, Kyle. See you. Yeah, I know. I said that earlier in the broadcast. I was like, I got up. It was like 50 minutes ago. Tommy Bernard podcast stopped streaming. I'm like, holy shit! Like, how long were they streaming? It was like 8 hours.
Yeah, they did an 8 hour. Holy smokes, man! That's like 2 eating periods for me. Like lunch and dinner or something. I'd have to have like a snack or a few things. Be back and I'd sit there and eat cheesesteak and fries while I was streaming. So, all right, I'm gonna talk about. Thanks for letting me in. This works.
Always.
We'll mess with the lighting a little bit, and we'll be ready for a banging show coming up in the near future. So.
Cool. Yeah, I'll see you tonight.
All right, everybody. See you in the chats. Peace. Thanks a lot, man.
You bet. Later, man. Well, thanks everybody for giving me something to avoid doing responsibilities and what I should be doing on a Saturday. It's always fun having Harry in here. Where's Harry at? Later, Kent. Well, I'll see you all at either Westside's auction or Harry's live tonight. Probably both. But appreciate you all. Thanks for entertaining me for a little bit. And grind on, friends.